I'm Devin Choules, founder and CEO of Choules Financial. On this week's Key to Yes, we're going to go over the 5 types of people that need our help based on the type of planning that we do. Today, we're going to go over the uncertain planner. Now, as we talk about this, this is the person that has spent the time, done the due diligence to save the money. They may have, several IRAs, several 401ks, a brokerage account, cash on hand. They have been the diligent saver, but they're not sure how everything comes together and how it forms a plan. So with that, let's get started. I want to introduce the team. As we go through all the planning that we do here, it can't be just a team of I, it's a team of we. And that's why inside of the team, they're so large, is to make sure that we can best help our clients take care of the unknowns. So at Choules Financial, we are known for helping people live a life without the weight of what ifs by being able to say yes to life. And now being able to say yes to life is the ability to take that bucket list trip that you've always wanted, being able to eat at your favorite restaurants, or most importantly, doing the things you love with the people you love. And we believe that having the highest chance of success comes from not just having just an investment plan with an investment guy or an investment gal, but taking it and saying, how do we turn that investment into income? When we have that income, what happens to our taxes, our healthcare, our estate plan? How do all these pieces form together? And as you can see, we're going to go over that of how our planning covers all 5 worlds. So today, like I said, we're going to go over the uncertain planner, and this is for Diane. Now, she was a former HR executive. She really wanted retirement income clarity, tax efficiency, and peace of mind. She knew that she had done well saving, but she wasn't sure how to stack all the blocks together to make sure she was taken care of. She knew that she had multiple retirement accounts, a brokerage account, and even a healthy savings account for that rainy day. But she was overwhelmed of how much could she take out. When she took it out, would it cause her to go in another tax bracket? Would it cause her Social Security to become taxable? What type of planning could we do to help give her that confidence? So her concerns inside of this came from how to draw that income tax efficiently. She'd come to one of our courses. She realized that her taxes could be higher if she didn't design a proactive plan that helped her design her income, that gave the government the least amount of money and let her keep the most. Too many accounts. This happens all the time, that people hear, I need to be diversified. And so they take it and they have money over at this advisor and down at the bank and at their work. And really what that does is that's not real diversification. That's how you get confused, is because you end up with somebody talking here, different piece there, and they're not coordinated. They're not focusing together on how to make your assets work best for you. And then her fear of running out of money. Not only did she not want to be taxed on it, but that is everyone's number one concern in America, is how do I not outlive my money? Walking her through the Key to Yes process, what it allowed us to do is to consolidate her accounts, create a unified strategy where we took those IRAs, we put them together, we knew what they looked like, we knew what they were holding. A lot of times if you have an account over here, an account over here, sometimes you may be owning Apple here and Apple here, and even over here in your brokerage account without realizing it, because you have too many things in too many places. We built a customized income plan for her to know, or so she knew when she could retire, how much she could take, where she would take it from, how much would come from her traditional IRA, how much would come from her Roth, how much would come from her brokerage account, all creating a coordinated effort to give her the income she wanted, but also to give the government the least amount in taxes. We analyzed tax exposure, and we implemented a Roth plan for those last few years of work for her so that she could make sure she had her tax planning done correctly. And then we did some modeling on her retirement dates and spending scenarios so she knew how much she could spend. She felt confident in knowing that she could retire. Now, with this, we believe that there are the 5 areas inside of retirement planning. Okay? There are your investments, there's your income, there are your taxes, there's your healthcare, and then there's your estate plan. The big piece we want people to understand is your investments are put there and built and saved to support our income. Because if it's not for income, it's for legacy. Because if you're not going to spend it, I don't know if you know this, but you're not getting out of this alive and you can't take it with you. So it's one of these 2 options here. But either way, when it is distributed, what are the taxes? What's the unintended consequence of how we saved? Did we put too much into a traditional IRA or into a 401k or a 403b or a 457 or a TSP inside of there? It gets expensive to age. And sometimes we have to take a large amount of money out of our investments to take care of our healthcare, Well, what's the tax consequence when it goes back the other direction? Because we took out the money to live on, but we also took out the money to take care of our health. And this is why we believe that we have to have all 5 areas put together. It's why we take it and put together these plans for our clients in their yes binder of giving them the ability to see, here's your tax plan, what's in good order, what needs addressed, and the plan of action that is updated for them regularly. So with that, Diane felt confident enough to be able to retire and to be able to move on. So with that, the outcome, Diane walked away with a plan, not just a hope. Her plan showed her how her income would change and how it would be replaced, and the tax burden was minimized. This was a big piece for her of making sure that her Social Security wasn't necessarily taxed at the fullest amount, that we were able to design that to give the government the least. But mainly the biggest portion is by having all those plans written and put together and cohesive, is we were able to help her remove the weight of what ifs and say yes to retirement. We do this through our proprietary process, the Key to Yes process. And in this, when you come and meet with us, your first meeting is like a first date. In this meeting, all we're looking at is to see if we can help each other. Envision Your Yes discovery meeting. We're going to go through what you currently have in place for your income plan, your investment plan, your tax plan, your healthcare plan, your legacy plan, and all the things that you're concerned about, the things that maybe aren't being addressed by your current advisor, or maybe you don't have an advisor and you don't know, and you need help in all the areas. But with that, once we realize that we could be a good fit for each other, we put on our hard hats, we go to work, and inside of this, we build a risk analysis, a fee analysis, an income analysis for you. And we take at that point in time and we put the proof in the pudding of what we do and how it can help you and yours retire and stay confident throughout the rest of your life. At this point in time, this is when we engage with Choules, engage with Choules Financial. And then at this point in time, this is where things just start, because at this point in time, this is where we implement the plan going forward. But you'll also notice out here, the client experience meeting, that we continually meet with you to update, because we know that life changes. You can't just make a plan once and push it off, that it requires you to continually update and move with that plan to make sure that you're having the best life. So with this down below, there's going to be the opportunity for you to click, come to our website, sign up for the ability to meet with us one-on-one and see how we can best help you. If you're like Diane and you're the uncertain planner, you've done well, you've saved a bunch, but you're not sure how this all fits together, I promise you, we exceed expectations when it comes to taking care of clients. With that, that's this week's Key to Yes. Thanks so much.